Hi, I'm Thomas McColl. I live in London in the UK, and I'm going to be reading poems as part of the 2020 Bridgewater International Poetry Festival virtual edition. And I'm going to be reading poems from my book Genie, which is published by Fly on the Wall Press. And I'm going to be reading a couple of poems, and the first poem is the title poem, Genie. Possessing genius is one thing, but are you prepared, on finding it encased inside a grenade, to pull out the pin to release the genie and therefore be on the receiving end of the huge explosion? In other words, are you prepared to be obliterated, meaning you won't even get to see above the billowing smoke the now released genie granting every wish to all your atoms that dispersed and already forming into new but lesser versions of you will proceed to take all the credit you are due as if you'd never actually existed, as if the credit had always been theirs to take? Essentially it's genius for everyone else's sake but yours, yet still the only kind of genius worth possessing. The kind that changes everything. Grenadeless genius is worthless. It's just that if it turns out you're the one who pulls the pin, there's no guarantee you'll even be remembered. For only one thing is certain. The grenade genie, arbiter of atoms, doesn't care. He knows that genius is a combustible commodity. Once released, he's simply there to give out all the credit indiscriminately. Anyway, the undeserving horde that ends up in receipt of it will soon enough be wiped out too, when everyone least expects it, in the unlikeliest place, and it's almost always the unlikeliest person who'll set things off. So who knows, maybe it will be you, out of luck and living in abject poverty, with nothing to lose, your possession of genius amounting to nothing more than the pulled pin held between your teeth and the self-belief that got you there. Except that there, as it turns out, is right in the middle of nowhere. But that's fate, and though the explosion will mean your life ending without you being in any way rewarded, the main thing is that history will be made, and incredibly, vast armies of advancing traditionalists who seem to everyone unstoppable, all taken out with just one genius-filled grenade. And who knows, maybe the day will come when the atoms you released upon your death, which having congealed into lesser versions of you, the genie bestowed all credit upon, will in gratitude honour your selfless act by placing at that very spot where you blew yourself up a commemorative plaque as round and blue as the earth which in billions of years the sun will swallow up. And that's the thing, why none of it really matters. Even the round blue earth, along with your round blue plaque, must one day shatter into atoms too. Let's face it, everything and everyone is nothing more than atoms. Even the brightest human is nothing more than the lowliest animal, organism, or inanimate object. It doesn't take a genius to work that out. And though nothing matters when we're all just matter, it still remains that people who think they're more than what they're made of are there to be brought down. Even if that moment's unplanned, the grenade genie, arbiter of atoms, will always be on hand. Trust me, somewhere, right at this very moment, a moment born out of desperation, there's another rat amongst the dinosaurs about to pull out the pin with its teeth. And the other poem I'm going to read is a poem about childhood and play and, well, when reality intrudes on play, and the poem is called The Phony War. Our imagination's at war, with umbrellas for rifles, our enemy invisible, we defended the sofa, had it pulled out from the wall. Inside this narrow tunnel, with seat cushions overhead, we hid. With each attack, we watched each other's backs. You saw the Germans in your mind I could not see, and I saw mine. We shot them all too easily. With the airstrikes, though, we met our match. Shells like steel fists struck, and the seat cushions punched up into the air fell about us. So we rose and came out fighting, shot down 5 fighters and 3 bombers with 2 umbrellas, then finished off the conflict in close hand-to-hand combat. By the end there were 1,000 German casualties, and without even a scratch between them, 2 tired Tommies smoking pencils feeling tough. And now the war was finished, and with both of us famished, we ran from the living room into the kitchen, calling for Gran to serve us up our tea, and found her quietly sobbing by the stove. Well, thank you very much for listening. As I say, my book, Grenade Genie, which I've been reading from, is available from Fly on the Wall Press, and it's available from the publisher and Amazon, and even direct for myself if you want to contact me via the website. Thanks very much for listening. Cheers. Bye.